arrival of our honorable guest, the Honorable Professor Dr. Shahanul Muhammad Shah, Assistant Vice Chancellor, College of Creative Arts, UiTM, the Honorable Professor, Technologist Dr. Asma Awal, Deputy Director, Research and Innovation and Acting Director of UiTM Cawangan, Selangor, Associate Professor Dr. Badrul Isa, Deputy Director of Students Affairs, UiTM Cawangan, Selangor. Executive Committee, UiTM Cawangan, Selangor, Faculty Deans, Director of COE and Asasi Center, lecturers, and everyone present here today. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for our national anthem, Negaraku, followed by UiTM song, Wawasan Setia Warga UiTM.
Bersatu kita warga UiTM, kita bangsa perkasa, taat dan setiaku untuk negara, penuh semangat wajar. Kita jangan mudah terlupa pengorbanan perjuangan anak bangsa. Kita jangan mudah terleka kemajuan keamanan yang ada. Kita berterima kasih pada pemimpin-pemimpin negara. Kita rasa penuh bersyukur kerahmatan kemuliaan darinya. Kamilah pendukung pewaris bangsa, kamilah pejabat bangsa Malaysia, kamilah warga berwawasan untuk negaraku.
All guests may have a seat. Thank you. The Honorable Professor Dr. Shahanul Muhammad Shah, Assistant Vice Chancellor, College of Creative Arts, UiTM, the Honorable Professor, Technologist Dr. Asma Awal, Deputy Director, Research and Innovation and Acting Director of UiTM Cawangan, Selangor, Associate Professor Dr. Badrul Isa, Deputy Rector of Student Affairs UiTM Cawangan Selangor. Salam UiTM di hatiku dan salam Malaysia Madani. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning to all. On behalf of the University Technology Mara Cawangan Selangor UCS, I would like to welcome everyone to our momentous event, the second series of Hot Chocolate Research Talk for the year 2023. This event is organized by the Research and Innovation Division, UiTM Cawangan Selangor, in collaboration with the Student Affairs Division, UCS, College of Creative Arts, College of Built Environment, and Faculty of Education, UiTM Cawangan Selangor. Ladies and gentlemen, the aim of today's program is to provide a platform for scientific discussion among researchers from various areas of expertise towards fostering research collaboration, writing research grant proposals, and producing high-impact publications in the field of creative arts. Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to have two highly experienced honorable speakers here in the field of creative arts, namely Professor Dr. Joy Ching Wang from School of Music and Associate Professor Dr. Shay Chow Wang from School of Art and Design, Northern Illinois University, United States of America, and they will share their experiences in research and publication. We also would like to welcome delegates from the University Negeri Yogyakarta, Indonesia, and we hope that your participation in this event will bring benefits for more collaboration opportunities here in UiTM Cawangan Selangor. Ladies and gentlemen, praise to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, we have been graced by the chance to gather in this beneficial ceremony. To bless the ceremony, let's recite Surah Al-Fatiha together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Amin, Amin, Ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you very much for the recitation of Al-Fatiha just now. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin the sharing session by our honorable speakers, we would like to invite Honorable Professor Technologist Dr. Asma Awal, Deputy Rector of Research and Innovation and Acting Rector of UiTM Cawangan Selangor for her welcoming remark. Please welcome Prof. Dr. Asma.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Alhamdulillah, the Honorable Professor Dr. Shanu, the Assistant Vice Chancellor of College of Creative Arts, Associate Professor Dr. Badrul Isa, Deputy Rector of Student Affairs, our speakers from Northern Illinois University, thank you for coming, sharing your research insights related to creative arts. The executive committee from UiTM Cawangan Selangor, from Aswara, and also from UNY. Thank you for having your time today. Alhamdulillah. First and foremost, I was grateful to Allah the Almighty for His blessing and permission. So we have our second Hot Chocolate Research Talk 2023 program, which was successfully organized previously. Then I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all esteemed guests, deans, directors, and everyone who are present today to contribute to the success of our program. So this program is meant as a part of sharing insight on the research direction related to the selected expertise. And as for today, the initiative undertaken by Research and Innovation Division, UiTM Cawangan Selangor, to provide a platform for introduction and scientific discussion among researchers from various faculties, various fields of expertise with the goal of focusing research collaboration. So at the same time, the ultimate objective of this event is to have what we call convergent discussion between different area in line with research grant proposal. And at the same time, we also have the ultimate aim of producing a lot more high impact publication in line with the research outcome from internal grant that has been awarded to the respective uh, principal investigator. So targeted research initiative carried by this department is to uplift the campus which is known as research campus in UiTM. So I think to uplift the standard of research, we should always have what we call intellectual discourse, and we should also focusing on our future area related to our expertise. So I think we also would like to congratulate and thank everyone for making this event. And we have our prominent speaker from definitely from globally renowned university. So we hope that this will give new insight related to the what we call merging, not only faculty, merging faculty, but also we focusing on how are we going to merge together to foster our future research. So as we aim to gain recognition globally, we have to focus on improving our reputation. That is also our main task on the international stage, in addition to the grant received from our research management center. So UCS is also responsible for an international grant allocation. We have around 6 million distributed strategically through, we have various types of internal funds such as DUKS 4.0. We also have DUKS special project. We also offer DUKS COE. We also offer DUKS cultivation, which is on Sulam. We also have DUKS SI, social innovation. Now we start focusing on DUKS creative art. So meaning that to enhance, to further enhance in terms of reputation in research, publication, innovation, which significantly impacts student achievement and also graduate employability. So meaning that in order to drive to become as a research campus, the grant allocation should also in line with MyRA score. So hence each PI or principal investigator should also appoint a grant manager. You also have to make sure the grant management scheme should also be as good as what you want to drive at the end of the day. So we want to make sure that every allocation should contribute to the research output publication, which give impact on the rating and also ranking, then can become globally marketable at the end of the day. Therefore, we also have a scholarly output performance task force in order to foster and establish the UCS to monitor the performance of topic prominence based on the researchers' publication and citation. So meaning that as a whole, we always monitor in terms of success journey and also the output from the overall publication that has been done by our researcher. And then at the same time, initiative towards UiTM visibility can be planned throughout the access to the publication and citation, meaning that you cannot simply publish, but you have to look into who will cite your paper. That is the most impactful output when talking about research and also visibility. So distinguished guests, to further enrich the research culture UST has established one of our new grant. This is I think fresh from oven, Arts and Creativity Grant, which is known as LUX KK. So congratulations from our creative arts team, because we also foresee in terms of research direction related to visibility and also quality standard. So this grant aims to provide opportunity for interested researchers, lecturers and practitioners in the arts to conduct research based on arts and creativity. So I hope that UCS will also try to realize your idea into reality. Let's hope that this grant will serve as a catalyst in our effort to install a culture of what we call borderless research among academic staff, especially in the field of arts. Yeah, thank you, Prof. Shahano, for always supporting us and giving us, in terms of ample time to think what need to be done for our young researcher and also our future expertise in the area of creative art. Again, I would like to express my appreciation for the commitment, for the dedication and cooperation from all our industrial partners, from all our collaborators, and also from all our researchers, especially from UCS management team in all department, and also the online what we call partner, the entire community, to ensure the success and excellence of research, innovation and commercialization at UCS UiTM. So we hope that this will always continuously achieve and improve over time in our effort towards GRU 2025, as what we shared with alumni, community and also industries. Lastly, I have to utmost confidence in this event and hope it will be an impactful and insightful event to foster our research direction in the near future. Sekian, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Technologist Dr. Asma Awal, for the welcoming remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the highlights of today's event, the sharing session of our two highly experienced honorable speakers. This session will be moderated by Associate Professor Dr. Badrul Isa, Deputy Director of Student Affairs, UiTM Cawangan, Selangor. For that, we would like to invite Professor Dr. Joy Ching Wang and Associate Professor Dr. Shay Chow Wang and Associate Professor Dr. Badrul Isa to the stage. Thank you. Okay, with great pleasure and honor, I will hand over the stage to the Associate Professor Dr. Badrul Isa. The stage is yours, Dr. Badrul. Thank you.
Okay, guys can hear me? Get back? Alright. Yang bahagia Profesor Teknologis Dr. Asma Awal, Deputy Director Research and Innovation, and also an Acting Rector of UiTM Cawangan Selangor. Profesor yang berbahagia Profesor Dr. Shahanul Muhammad Shah, Assistant Vice Chancellor College of Creative Arts UiTM Cawangan Selangor. Associate Professor Dr. Sharifah Zainal ada ke dekat? Okay. Sharifah Zainal, Syed Aris, Professor Dr. Zul, are you here? Professor Dr. Zulkifli, Abdul Latif. We have that Sharifah also, no worries. We have few Sharifahs in the room. Professor Dr. Jun Ming, our distinct guest, and also Associate Professor Dr. Shea Chawang. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Hot Chocolate Research Talk. On behalf of our distinguished guests, including our friends from Universitas Negeri Yogyakarta, we also have our colleagues from Universitas Negeri Aswara Akademi Seni Budaya.
Percubaan 1, 2, 3. Okey.
Okey. Pakai itu.
Bunyi.
Pakai ni. Ada apa? Ada. I'm sure that we prepare everything. I think technology.
Percubaan 1, 2.
Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'll start again. Welcome to our Hot Chocolate Research Talk. This is our second series of research talk in 2023. We will be delving into a captivating world of arts education. Thank you to our esteemed guests. Just to let us know that we are also having our online participants. I saw just now about 40 to nearly 50 guests online. Yeah. My name is Badrul Isa. I'll be your moderator for these sessions. Before we embark with our journey on our presentation today, let's remind ourselves about few guidelines that we have to abide. Okay. Each presenter will be given allocation time of roughly about 30 minutes. If you want to please do not exceed 30 minutes because time is not on our side. I really encourage people, our friends here in the hall, to actively listen and take the opportunity to listen to our presenters, because most of the sessions are handled by our presenters will be enriching our perspective on arts education, especially knowing that you guys from Illinois universities, maybe a lot of things that we can share. After each presentation, we are not going to go for Q&A session. We are going to let you guys talk first, and then we're going to open the floor to Q&A sessions. Please, if you want to ask questions, whether it's online or here, as an audience, please state your name and also your affiliation. Yeah. Kemudian, before we start, let me give you some idea who are our speaker for today. Okay. It is my pleasure to introduce our distinguished guest, a distinguished presenter today, Dr. Joy Ching Wang and Dr. Shea Chow Wang. Do I pronounce it correctly? Good. Okay, joining us all the way from Jogja for our information. These two of our speakers are now attached with Universitas Negeri Yogyakarta. They are at their final term of their Fulbright scholars, as a Fulbright scholars in that university. Okay, Our first presenter, Dr. Joy Ching Wang, is a distinguished professor of Northern Illinois University. She is specializing in music education. Hold a doctorate degree in musical arts in music education from Arizona State University. Dr. Wang's expertise include general music methods, children's singing games, community-based music education, and world music. Dr. Wang is actively involved in academia, served as editorial boards of esteemed publications like the Music Educator Journals and International Journal of for Music Research, Music Education Research. Vastly very experienced, collaborated with renowned institutions as National Taiwan Symphony Orchestra and also the Ministry of Education in Dubai. As a Fulbright specialist and also an academic reviewer, Dr. Wang showcases a commitment to scholarly pursuit. She also actively supported students' organization at NIU. I was informed that she was the dean, is it the dean? The director, coordinator of Asian American Study Program in NIU. And she played a very important role in conference organization as well as symposium chairing. I was informed that both of them originally from Taiwan, yeah, and have been with the Illinois University for the 20 years over. So we're honored to have Dr. Joy Ching Wang, currently also a Fulbright scholar at Universitas Negeri Yogyakarta. Today she will be presenting and sharing her thoughts on topics a multi-sensory learning, the embodiment of interdisciplinary approach in the music education. Dr. Wang, we are delighted to have you here today. The stage is yours and please limit it to 30 minutes of your presentation. The floor is yours. Yes. You want to do it here or preferably over there? Okay, go ahead. Or you should use this microphone.
This is easier. I never stand still during my presentation of my class, and so it's actually easier to have this. And in a way that I will actually walk around just to make sure that you don't fall asleep. Can you all hear me? All right. All right. I would like to take this opportunity again to thank Honorable Rector Professor Asma, Dr. Badru, and Dr. Shanu for your invitation to have me here to be part of this very, very interesting research talk series. I was attracted by the title of the talk immediately when I saw the poster you guys created. I was like, what? Hot chocolate? Are we going to have hot chocolate like as part of the presentation? You know, that's something that I was actually quite looking forward to. Considering this is Malaysia, right? And this is actually my first time here visiting this country. Yesterday was the first time I stepped out of, I've been doing like transfer, but never actually stepped out of the airport. So today, yesterday was the first time, and this time is the first time visiting this lovely country. I would like to take this opportunity to explore more, of course. By looking at the title of my presentation, A Multisensory Learning, the embodiment of interdisciplinary approach in the music classroom, you can probably guess already this is going to be about collaboration. And I'm so happy that this is actually the talk I prepared for this series this time, having heard what our rector had just shared about the development of the university, and I think I'm in the right direction. And congratulations on your achievement so far as well for this very, very nice, exciting movement and toward the future direction. And so. My background, as you just heard, is in music and music education. And so when we talk about, do we have any musicians, music scholars here? Oh, very good. sweet, very, very nice. And Dr. Shandu was talking to me like, I probably will take notes. And I was like, no, you don't need to take any notes. You are expert already, guys. You have the best, like the most amazing music education and musicology scholar here already in the house. And so I'm just hoping that whatever I say, whatever I share today with you, she will resonate with me. This is all about collaboration. My own background, I come from Western classical training, but when I started my doctoral study, I realized that there's this trend of global music education, and not only global, but also locally emphasized. And so if you are into global anthropological study, you probably are aware of the term global. So I've been thinking about a lot of possibilities of combining this global trend with some local development and what we can do with local musical ideas or local cultural ideas, what is there that we as educators can put them together to make it a new trend. So that will, of course, have to go back all the way to the root of music. When we talk about music learning, first of all, what would you think? What kind of learning it is? Why does a music learning will allow children to engage in some kind of a multi-sensory learning? What exactly is there? And so I usually will start with this, and you just listen to me and see if you can respond to me, okay? So listen carefully. This is actually a singing game. If you pay attention to Dr. Badrul's introduction about me, you know that I am really into children's singing game. So listen. Hey, hey, who's in town? Everybody stop and look around. Say your name, and when you do, we will say it back to you. My name is Ray. So what do? You will have to say it back to me. So what do? Your name is Ray. Get it? Let's practice one more time. Hey, hey, who's in town? Everybody stop and look around. Say your name, and when you do, we will say it back to you. My name is Ray. All right, I think you got it, right? Okay, so, hey, hey, who's in town? Everybody stop and look around. Say your name, and when you do, we will say it back to you.
My name is Barry.
Okay. Am I going to be happy with this? This is actually not how I demonstrated it. I go with this. My name is Ray. Can you all clap for me? My name is Ray.
My name is Ray.
That's my name. That's not your name. All right, let's practice. So, my name is Ray. Can you guys say? Your name is Ray. So, my
Your name is Ray.
Okay, so all right, now I'm going to ask what your name is. All right, hey, hey, who's in town? Everybody stop and look around. Say your name, and when you do, we will say it back to you.
My name is Barry.
And your name is Hey, hey, who's in town? Everybody stop and look around. Say your name, and when you do, we will say it back to you.
My name is Alice.
Your name is Alice.
Hey, hey, who's in town? Everybody stop and look around. Say your name, and when you do, we will say it back to you.
Hey, hey, My name is Reichi.
That's my name. What's your name?
Badro. My name is Badro.
Alright, we have to help him to get engaged in music. His name is Badru. So you will say,
My name is Badro.
his name is Badru. So you get it? Alright. So what's my name? What is his name? Alright, so very quick. If I have time, usually I will go from, but this is too big of an event. We are not going to have time to go through everybody's name. Usually on the first day of the class, I will go through this with my students so that I would know who they are. Okay, and then so that I will also know if they are musically inclined. Alright, what does it involve there? We were actually used to, you're just speaking some nonsense word. Hey, who's it? In the meantime, we're doing this. We're clapping. When we're clapping, we're keeping the beat. Okay, we're keeping the beat. And you see, I'm a bad dancer, but I'm actually swinging my body. Okay, this is to keep your body moving. All right, so we are involving what? We are rhyming. Rhyming already, it has something to do with literacy, right? Has something to do with language. When we are moving along with our body, this is physical, right? We have some like movement going on, and then we're keeping the beat. If I have an instrument with me, I will have you probably tap the drum. But the easiest we can do is actually just clap, right? So keeping the beat, feeling the move, right? At the same time, we are actually having children learn about the structure of rhyming word, okay? And it's just a game to get their name. Right? For me as a teacher, I want to know what their name is so that I can boost their social esteem. Social esteem on the first day of the class for little kids. This is extremely important to know who they are. They want you to know who they are, right? So all together, we have this, all right? Psychomotor, cognitive, and affective learning all together. And this is why music is such an important tool or effective tool for people to collaborate with. I know we have only very small number of music scholars here. Here, I would like to encourage all of you, the rest of you who are not music scholars, you can take advantage of music. Take advantage of music, what music can do to help your children, help your student to develop, to become a whole, a much better, confident little human being. Okay, so students listen, observe. You actually were paying close attention to what I was rhyming, right? You were listening, you were observing, and you then try to imitate what I do. Yes? My name is, right? And then after the first time I told you that, no, you are not musically enough. Now we want you to be musical. And then you were able to correct it, to make it in beat, right? So as you listen to this whole thing, I'm not going to say that I'm the master performer, but as you were paying attention to me, you will watch and you finally become active. Throughout the whole time, you don't know where I will go to, and you don't know who I will call. right? You keep in mind, okay, maybe she is coming after me. I had better prepare that in my head. My name is Bajro. My name is blah blah blah, right? So that is the whole idea, to keep children active, okay? And then, so this is applicable in music learning, but it is also applicable to many different kind of learning. I'm just here to share with you. Second model, it's not just playing musical instruments, even just tapping, moving, swinging your body, it can become part of the psychomotor practice. Cognitive, for sure. You're learning about rhyming, you're learning about the language, right? And then affective, it's about your emotion. If you're happy, this is children, so if you're happy and you know it, you clap your hands, right? So children usually reflect their emotions on the songs. So affective is about that. It's about emotion, and so it's based on this whole idea of learning. How music is actually capable of helping children engage in all three learning domains. That I started to pay attention to the possibility of creating interdisciplinary lesson, so that in a music classroom, my students don't just learn music; they actually learn something else. Okay, and for academic subject teachers, what they love the most is actually the other part of it. The other part of it, mainly the cognitive aspect of it, that music can help them facilitate. So I actually have this whole foundation, the rationale set up for today's talk, but I know I have to refrain a lot of it, so that we will have time for this other very, very amazing speaker, and for you to ask questions. But so just think about this quickly, based on what we have done. What have you learned, and how you actually learned it. And there are two styles of learning, right? There's teacher-centered and there's the student-centered. And I am very sure that you have already experienced just a little bit of student-centered, because you are actually the core. You are my attention. I'm just the facilitator, right? So through this game, I want you all to experience what I deem important. All right, so this is the student-centered approach that I am up to as well. All right, and these are the some of the foundational knowledge that I have prepared for you, just so that you know how important music is in child development. And you know, in the Romantic era, this particular scholar, educator, pedagogue rather, he already talked about the importance of music, not to train musician, not to train virtuoso musician performer, but to use the creative aspect of music to help children develop nicely in a whole manner. Okay, so for him, music has to be the core of the curriculum, so that children can learn a lot of other things. Okay, so this is just the foundation of it. And when music educators, music education scholars in the United States learn about this idea, they then apply that to the general music classroom, and incorporate that into some kind of principle. And the overall philosophy to it is mainly because music speaks to the heart. And so it has a lot to do with moral education as well. Okay, so I am going to show you, this is what music can do. Just think about that. Actively if we have some kind of musicking, and this is not a typo, this is a new concept, musicking. When usually we would say music, 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 but when we talk about music, if it is just a noun, then you don't hear anything. It has to be musicking. It's an action word that you will get to hear something or see something. And so through musicking, we actually have all these different exercise. All right, and just imagine that your children, your students develop you from all this on a daily basis. How much they will be able to learn, right? So moving on. So what is a music class like in an elementary music classroom in the United States? Based on this rationale, I'm going to show you just a little bit, and this is actually a very very primitive lesson. We all know this song, What a Wonderful World. If I have enough time, I will actually have you draw something along with the word, the lyrics. This is a very positive. This song gives a very positive meaning to children. We all love this song, right? And so, what do you think music classroom would be like for like a second grader? Second grade music classroom can be when the teacher introduces song based on this multisensory learning principle. So we're talking about affective, cognitive, and psychomotor aspect of it. And so for the psychomotor aspect, singing itself, we will count already. Children learn to sing the song. Okay. So overall, you know the lyric of the song, right? So I'm going to show you this. These are the highlights, some of the words, the lyrics. Trees of green, red roses, bloom, wonderful world, skies of blue, clouds of white, dark, sacred night, wonderful world, rainbow, the faces of people. I see friends shaking hands, saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. What a wonderful world. So these are the highlighted words that this music teacher drew. She drew some pictures to go with this, and then she shuffled the cards. She cut those into cards. She shuffled them, and then she played the song. Have the kids listen to the lyrics, sing along, and then put the card together. And this is second grade. Second grade, for most of the second graders, all this, many of the words here, vocabularies, are new to them. So they try to understand, comprehend what the lyrics is all about. So in this lesson, what is being integrated already? The collaboration is between music, language, and visual art. Okay? So this is one example, and then this is another example. It's a song about cuckoo, the bird. It's a French children's song. It's actually very simple, so you can sing along. We can all sing the cuckoo part. We can sing this. Alright, I'm going to count on you. You guys are going to sing that part. Okay, for time's sake, we are going to see how this is being done in second graders' classroom. So this teacher, she assigned some students to be the tree, and some students will be the cuckoo. All right, and so tree, don't move. Cuckoo, fly everywhere. So this is the idea of it. Already we have this paying attention demand, right? They have to listen to the music. Trees. So the psychomotor part is the singing, and then this is the signal for them to fly. You think flying is easy? No, for second graders, it takes time. All right, because some of them forget they actually are trees. Trees are not supposed to move, right? So they get confused. It takes several times repetition, and music allows that. See, they're still hesitant, still don't get it. Alright, okay, so it actually go on and there's actually some variation of it. So you get some idea of it, okay? This activity alone, we can have 1 hour just to practice and talk about all kind of variation. Alright. Okay, so, oh, by the way, you notice that they wear pajama? Yeah? Those are their pajama. Those, on that day, it's pajama day. So the entire, the entire school, the second grade, all the second graders, they get to wear their favorite pajamas to school. This doesn't happen here, right? Kids have to wear uniform. Yeah, so this is United States, what can you say, right? All right, so moving on. All right, so these are some of the idea of it, and I know I'm running out of time, but those are the some realization for younger graders, and I actually wrote an article about more advanced level, beyond elementary level, contextualizing learning in music using Bengawan solo, because we have friends from Indonesia. I really have to show this part of it. I spent almost a year in 2016-17 living in Yogyakarta studying Tembang Dodana Anak as a Fulbright scholar. And at that time, I started to get to learn not only what I plan to learn, but also Keroncong. Keroncong, do we know what Keroncong music is? It's also here in Malaysia, because at the beginning of it actually is quite prevalent in Manuka street. So I then use this idea. We all know that in music, if you are a music lover, you know that there are a lot of composers in Western classical music realm. They compose music, their works, using water as inspiration. And so I come up with a list of it. It's just a very limited list of some of the pieces done by famous composers in different theme. All right, so you can take a. This is actually an article that published in General Music Today in United States. And so, if you're interested, you can actually ask me. I can send you a copy of that. And so, this is a list of it. And then I started to think there are waters, there are rivers around the world, and Bengawan Solo happened to be one of which that. It's so inspiring that many composers actually would compose that, and including this one, right? This is the most famous one. Our friends from Indonesia, you can probably see. Bersama nyanyi, penyanyi lagu ini ya, nyanyi.
Bengawan Solo, riwayatku ini sedari dulu jadi perhatian tadi. Musim kemarau, tak berapa airmu di musim hujan, air meluap sampai jauh.
I think we're all very happy with this. We can sing this song forever. And this is actually one excerpt that I caught in a live performance of a group of kids in a Klongchong club. And I'm not going to play this. And so I then designed a contextual lesson to have American students learn about this. And this will go back to what I, at the beginning, said about globalizing musical ideas, right? I use a local resource, a river in Indonesia, a river on Java Island. I wrote about a global lesson. Okay? I wrote a lesson that talks about global ideas, and all this, of course, started from the song, right? So we have to talk a little bit about the song. I talk about the music, I talk about the history, geography, and ecology, and sociology, and politics. Okay, and then the music structure itself, and then some more in-depth questions to be discussed in each area we talk. Okay, so this is just an idea, an example how an interdisciplinary lesson can be in a contextualizing framework where collaboration is required. Music teacher alone cannot do it. It's impossible for music teacher to do this all by herself or himself. And so it takes a group of people, a group of people who are enthusiastic about collaborating. So this is just an example of it. And again, as I said, this is an article that I published in an American journal. So if you are interested in learning more about that in detail, you can email me and I will be very happy to share with you the article. And I know my time is up and I have to pass the mic to our distinguished speaker.
Give a big round of applause to our speaker. Thank you, Professor Joy Chin-Wang. I think it's a very insightful. I think the practical strategies that you mentioned earlier, I have a few questions to ask, but I will keep it up until later part of our presentation or discussion. Okay, thank you again for your presentation on multisensory learning, the embodiment of interdisciplinary approach in the music education or classroom. Okay, I think we really have to proceed with our second speaker. Allow me to read a short biography of Dr. Shea Chow Wang. Dr. Shea, or Associate Professor Dr. Shea Chow Wang, an accomplished artist as well as an educator. Dr. Shea Chow Wang is currently also a Fulbright scholar at Universitas Negeri Yogyakarta in Indonesia. He's an associate professor at the Schools of Art and Design in Northern Illinois University. He has a diverse educational background, a Doctor of Education degree in curriculum leadership. He has been conducting extensive research in art education. A Fulbright senior scholars, Dr. Shea Chow Wang, engaged in collaborative research, teaching, and cultural exchange activities with UNY. Dr. Shea Chow Wang's unique expression and exploration of cultural authenticity have gained recognition internationally. His artwork is featured in public collections, and he has curated solo and also group exhibitions. His passion of art and education, extensive academic background, and also artistic achievements. Dr. Shea Chow Wang is a respected figure in the field of art and design. Today's presentation, his topic is about using your artistic strength in research, introducing art-based research and visual essay. Dr. Shea will demonstrate how artists can leverage their strength and employ art-based research methodologies to enrich projects as well as communicate their findings. Without further ado, the floor is yours. Dr. Shea.
This one? Yeah. Thank you for the introduction. My content is very different from the music. I'm a visual person, so I use a lot of images. But before I start my topic, I would like to introduce my university, because you all heard Northern Illinois University. And where is it? It's west of Chicago, for 1 hour drive west of Chicago. And this is the landmark of Chicago. And this is our campus, the east part of the campus, and we have the other side on the west. And it's 27 years old, the university. And of course, in America, the most popular event will be the American football. So during the football season, students are very crazy, and we have a dress code. For the home game, we have to wear red or black, because red and black is our core colors. And this is the fourth season. On the top two, springtime, and then the bottom, the fall time. And you can see a beautiful leaves. And the winter time, cold, 4 months with snow. And this is my topic. And how to use our strengths. If you consider yourself as a visual thinker, how to use your strengths to do your research instead of reading text. I know a lot of art people, we don't read. We don't like to study. We prefer, right? You all agree, otherwise you don't laugh. We prefer to look at something and then we get the idea. So how to use our strengths for research? I think people will prefer to learn how to do that. This is the field of visual arts and education. There are so many different topics that we can dig into. However, in visual arts, if we combine visual arts and education, where should we stand and how we do our own research? This is the concern that we have to think about. We cannot do a very in-depth text-based research based on our strengths. So how to find our own way to do the research? And in the recent years, people have established several different categories for art-based research, for example, art-based research, action research, practice research. So these are the different type of approaches for research. In fact, they are all the same. The purpose of doing this is to use art as our resource for the research. However, when we do research, we also need to see the effective, how to connect our knowledge with the fact or the real world. So these are the methods that people use in the visual way. And as you have the experience making any type of art, this is the normal process. Okay, you starting from thinking about a topic, and then you start to find resources to enhance your topic or your idea. And then you develop something. For the artist, developing the project, making art, making music, making a performance. So that is the development. And then you have to review what you have done and then revise. So this is a continuous action that you have to do over and over again. How to use this idea for our research? They're very similar to the academic research process. You start with your topic, you find questions, and then you do the review. After that, you come up with methods, and then you analyze what you have done, and then report. So there's this very similar process of doing the research in visual arts. So what's the art-based research? There are some there are some similarities to the academic research, but some differences. The major part is that you use artistic format. So what is artistic format? Okay, you producing art, you producing graphic, you producing you produce a lot of different art forms to support your research. So that is the basic way to do the research. And for art-based research, you have several options. Number one, you can make the academic writing based on your research. You can do the artistic presentation as your research result. You can also combine these together, and that will open a very possible ways for art thinkers to do the research in a very convenient and also professional way. And this is all done by my students. Okay. When I introduce art-based research, I did not just tell them, this is the project you have to do. I have to help them to establish their awareness and also knowledge about research. And by doing art-based research, students have to start to think about how to use my eyes to learn something. So the sketchbook and also the visual journey will be a very useful tool for them to document what they have done or researched. So this will be the evidence for them to come up with their own research topic. And there are so many different ways. You can do a sketch, you can draw, you can draft, you can create a concept map. So there are several different ways. You can collect some images and then make the collage to help you to understand what's in your head visually. And then after you have collected enough, you start to find the major elements for your study. And I have one student who, this is a graduate student, who made the art-based research, and after that, in 12 weeks, she has done a series of works, and they are all connected. So she actually made art pieces, and then after that, she analyzed what she has done, and gave a presentation, and this is her presentation. So I'm going to explain a little bit, so you will be able to envision what type of art-based research can be done. This is her original idea. The beginning of her research is that she was so interested in urban sketcher. Okay, the concept of urban sketcher is that no matter what kind of artist level you are, you go to somewhere, you sit and then you draw. Instead of taking photos with your cell phone or making selfies. So you sit there and draw. The purpose of doing this is that you will spend more time observing what everything around you instead of taking snapshot and then leave. So that is the beginning of the idea, urban sketching. And then she started to do sketch. And then how to connect ideas together. So this is the second one. And then the third one, I already explained how use visual information to learn something. And then this is the first piece. She visited the local farmers market in United States. Each small town has some events, and this is a weekly event that the local farmers, they will bring products to a plaza, and then they will sell to the residents in that community. So she visited, and then she makes some sketches, and then she collage those pieces together, and then write something about her reflection. So doing the action for making art, and then after that writing the reflection, that is the process of research. So this is the first piece, and then the second piece, she wants to draw something in the park of her community. However, during that period, a very sad news happened. Some people attacked children in the park. So that became a very big news in the community. So she switched a little bit about drawing the beautiful landscape of the park. Instead, she add another layer of the production. She drew the landscape, and then she asked several children to draw their experience of playing in the park as part of her piece. And then inside the piece, she has the current event, the attacking news included in the artwork. So this is her documentation of the event. And then the third one, she started to join the group of Habitat for Humanity to build houses for people. So she joined the group and she interviewed different workers, different co-workers who help building the houses. So she also made a house shape art with all her sketches and interviews. So the method of interview included in this part of research. And then the final piece, she tried to combine what she has done in the three previous pieces together. And then she named it time. So she made two layers of a circle and then put them together like a lantern, and then you can twist the circle. So when you see through different shape of people, the silhouette of people, then you will be able to see the different images of the community. So that is the conclusion of her research in four pieces in a series. So this is what she has learned, and that can be considered a art-based research. And another example is done by an undergraduate student. She wants to study the meaning of a meal, okay, a meal, like a dinner or lunch. So she starts from the top left piece. That is the meal for a homeless. Okay, in the United States, in several communities, the church or some other organizations will provide free food for homeless. So the homeless will go there to get a meal, and that might be the only one meal of the day for that person, for the homeless. So she made a very poor setting of the meal for homeless, And then the second piece on the top right is her own, is her own meal. Okay, she's a college student with a financial aid, so she has loan from the bank for coming to school. So she has a lot of bills. She has a lot of bills and a lot of receipts, and she was pretty poor, so she could only have a very small piece of microwave food for her meal. And then the third one on the top left bottom, this one is the people who has time to cook. You can follow the recipe to make a good meal. And then the final one on the bottom right is the show-off meal. The steak in the center has gold leaf on top. And this is what she just learned about people who show off the richness. So see, by looking at these four pieces, you can see the same topic, but with different approaches, different social status. Then that will become a very interesting way to learn social-based issues. This is her research. Then how to report the art-based research. Okay. I introduce visual essay. Visual essay is a shortened version of academic research paper. You can write in a very short period, short paragraphs, short length of your essay with a lot of visual information. So this is a very interesting way to use to be used, so you can still present your academic performance and also your scholarly products. So how to write? Well, as you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they are very similar to any type of academic writing. Okay, the only matter is that you use visual information. So this is a rationale for arts education. Any type of arts, you can use this. You can use this, and I think by writing this type of essay, you feel more attached. You feel more. You have more ownership, because this is about your own production and your own finding. And what to include? See, this is the exciting part. You can include images, audio, video, and text. So not just the boring text-based article. You can include many of these. Outlines, we can skip it. I want to show you some examples so you will be able to visualize the possibilities. This is for a very small project for undergraduates. The students choose to use comic style to present the result. And this can become a visual essay. And of course, it requires a brief writing to go with the visual information. And this is my example. I have artist friend who has been doing art for more than 30 years, and I observed his development. And in recent 10 years, he was so into the traditional market, and he tried to reproduce food vendors, and then show it in different locations, not just in the museum, galleries, but also in the real market. And this is the documentation, visual documentation. And I wrote this article with a lot of visual information, and I also include video and animation in the article. And with the modern technology, especially right now, we use e-journal, right? You can include a lot of possible ways to enhance your research by using a lot of visual information. So this is a very good way to see the future. That when we include visual in our research, that will attract more readers to learn about what you have found. I probably can speed up. Okay, I can briefly talk about the story. He applied for a unit in the traditional market, and then he displayed his artwork there. And every day when he has different versions, he has a vegetable version, he has meat version, he has fish version. So every day when he set up his stand, his unit, he also wear the uniform of that type. So the dress code is matching the product he was selling. And the neighbor vendors were so worried about him because the first couple of days when he displayed his piece, and then the neighbors came and said, "What are you doing?" And he said, I am showing my art, not selling my art." And the vendors will say, "Well, if you don't have any income, why you display your pieces right here? Because this is a traditional market. It's not in a museum." Okay, you need to remember this. It's in a traditional market. And then he started to introduce art to those neighbors. And the neighbors become a very good promoters for him, because some people go to buy real food, and then the vendors will introduce, "Go to my neighbor. This one is very unique. You cannot buy anything." So the people will come, and then he started to introduce his art to people who never go to museum galleries. So he opened up the new audience for his art. And this is education. This is art education. This is a community-based art education. He did not notice that. I noticed that. So that's why I wrote an article. See, that is why we need to do. The researchers have something, right, to promote. So I introduced what he has been done in the past, and then how he come up with the idea. Okay. And see, this is the important part of findings, the inspirations. How to introduce art in different ways. Okay. People always think, well, fine art, that we have to go to gallery, museums to see. No, he created a new possibilities for people to visit art. And also, when you think about food, how possible people can create food that you can go visit, right? So that creates a new possibility for people to understand about tradition and the memory. Okay. So there are several different ways that I discovered. So this become an academic paper, and that is the possibility for art-based research plus visual essay. Thank you. These two pieces, the batik, these are batik pieces. We suppose, okay, our team, the Indonesian UiTM team, we're supposed to create a batik t-shirt, and then we will wear together. However, I did not understand the final steps that I have to block out the white part. So when we do water glass, you won't damage the white part. So it turned out that the image part is pretty good, but the surroundings are all very dirty. So I cut out, and then I'm going to show these two pieces in the exhibition. Yeah, and then the title is "It Was a T-shirt." Okay, I'm done.
Wow, thank you, Dr. Shea. What a insightful presentation. I think it gave us a fresh perspective about art, research, as well as publication. Thank you for that presentation. So, can we get any questions from the online community as well as in this theater, maybe? We're going to open it up for question and answers. Our speakers are ready to accept any any questions from the floor. Dipersilakan. Any questions or any suggestions, maybe? Rusiti, do we have any questions online? Maybe you can help us out. Anyone would like to ask anything? Yeah, so shocked and amazed. Have no idea what to ask. Maybe. Come on. Scholars, postgraduate candidates, PhD, this is your golden opportunity to ask questions. Anyone? Yes. Our first questions come from this gentleman.
Okay, just one question from for the second speaker. Are there any ethical consideration or challenges when integrating artistic element into research?
Ethical consideration about including, when you do research, you have to go through an ethical committee. Okay, this art-based ABR methodology, do we have to consider about ethics in the study? Ethics. Ethics committee.
Of course, when you do any research, I think we all learn this is research 101. We have to follow the rules. Okay, no matter what kind of subject, what kind of method that you use, we still need to follow the rules. This is what we call IRB. Okay, so even when you do art-based research, you will have some you have to deal with human. Then of course you have to go through the process. But when you create your own art, well, that is your part. But when you are reaching out, when you are doing some literature reviews, and then you collect a lot of information, and you want to have some audience to participate in your art, then of course we have to consider this is the ethic issue that we have to include. You want to add?
Usually the university IRB, they will oversee the entire procedure. So what we do, I think it's probably similar to here. What we do is to submit the application, and then there's a guideline where we have to follow, we have to report, filled out all possible methodologies and whoever is going to be involved, and then they will take a look at that and then evaluate whether or not it needs more attention. If it is exempt, then they will tell you that yeah, you are fine, you are exempt, you don't need to worry about that. But usually when it involves, for example, my study that actually involves children, yeah, under age of 18, that usually is very strict. So we have to make sure that we follow every single protocol, how we secure the data, how we make sure that the children's right is not being abused, things like that. It has to go through the university guidelines, and then the university actually work closely with whatever federal government in the United States requires of research practice.
Okay, that's about it. I think we are all clear that ethics consideration or ethics committee must involve in any research, even though it's ABR. So no excuses on that matter. Okay, can we have another one question or two questions? Second questions from the floor. I have no idea whether I have questions. Maybe you can help me out. Yeah, please, Mr. If you can mention your name.
Hello, you can hear me? Yeah. My name is Chindola, and about this, Arctic lyric, and I want to know Arctic's strength in research? Strength? Strength, yeah.
Strength of the study.
For this research, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the second, yeah.
So to ask you want to speak in Mandarin maybe clearer.
你好，
用中文讲
可以吗？我就想知道在这个里边的优势嘛，就是
你说什么样的优势？
您可以过来吗？We can. Sorry.
Okay. His question is why we use art-based research, visual, how we use visual components as our base for the research, and what's the strength for using it? Well, I state clearly, we are visual person. If you consider yourself as a visual thinker, and when you do research in a very traditional way, then you will feel very tightened because you cannot use your strength. When we include visual in our study, you are in a very comfort zone. You are in a comfort zone that you will be able to dig into the meanings that you and the values that you always practice. So that is the purpose of using visual. And this is such a new movement that has been just running for, I think, 15 years in the Western world. And I don't see too many things happening in the in Asia. So I think people are still considering this is not a real academic approach. But right now, the younger generation, how many of you did not use cell phone? Zero. See, you all use cell phone. So this is a new generation. You cannot avoid any visual information. So this is the purpose of using visual in our research. So I think I answered this question with this part.
In fact, some universities in the United States now are considering accepting documentation as like documentary as their dissertation project. So when you talk about documentary, it's actually a visual presentation. It's multimedia. So if it's just sooner or later, I think it's a trend that our dissertation project will become multimedia. In the past, there were too many limitations. Back in the time when I was writing my dissertation, there was not a JSTOR yet. We didn't even have a digital database as big as JSTOR. I don't know if you are aware of that. Yeah, and so it's not possible to include video. Now, if you want to include anything that is like more that requires more of an interactive mode, you can easily just put a QR code there. And QR code is just how long in human history do we have QR code? And so just taking all this into consideration, you will find that people have to take advantage of this. The technology products that are there to help us comprehend better what research outcome can entail. So this is a trend, and there are some universities, as I said, now in the United States that are so much ahead. So most of the universities are still waiting, but we are actually predicting that it's coming soon.
How about whether ABR is widely accepted in academic world? I mean, as like a normal thesis, for example. I think most of us here are facing quite a challenging in terms of introducing this as research. So because traditional methodologies is always about numbering, numerical and so on. So I think we need more discussions about this. I have no idea in Malaysia whether we really accept ABR as one of the things that we should propose in academic level in any university. Maybe you can tell us about your experience in promoting ABR. It's just another discipline or choice for people to come up with their academic writing. Maybe.
The earliest method book or the textbook for R-based research was published 20 years ago. So it's not new. It's not really new. And I can list at least 3, 4, or 5 the very highly rated textbook about R-based research. So I think the trend is that in traditional research we are finding a lot of limitations, and then scholars start to find different ways to improve or to upgrade the methodologies, and that's why we have one trend for R-based research. And as I think you also know that 20 years ago, visual culture is the big movement, right? And R-based research is about the same time. So it's not the really new thing, but people start to find the values, and also they find the new possibilities to bring up the unknown knowledge that the traditional method cannot reach. And I think if we have this kind of creative and innovative idea for doing research, it can be done. I think that people's concern is that how can this type of research be accepted in the academic traditional policies.
Can someone? Yes, please. Sharifa.
Hi, thank you so much for that insight. I just want to ask a very basic question to Doctor. I'm interested in the medium where you published, actually. We were curious on the journal or the platform that you published, because I think as much as we love the idea of having this video embedded and maybe music embedded, there's not many, not that I'm aware of, perhaps I've been blindsided, but can you give us a journal that you published in, and are there any platforms such as that? Because we are also very much under pressure to, to produce on a yearly basis, and I think that sort of publication where you've embedded the video, although you're from the arts, and then we've got our film departments and the music and movement. So I think it would be lovely for you to share us if there are a lot of these such platforms available. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Last piece is a book chapter included in the book published by International Society of Art Education through Art. Okay, we call INSIA, and INSIA is the international organization. It is also a pioneer for the future art education. And starting from 15 years ago, the INSIA journal started to accept visual essay. And at the beginning, nobody submit I was on the board, so I noticed that nobody submit because they are afraid that our institute won't accept this is part of the research article. However, we the editorial board, we make a lot of promotional and also introduce different ways to present visual essay. And my article was the first visual essay included in the published book, ebook, the published book. And at that time, no editors, even the house editors, cannot understand how to include animation and moving things in the PDF file. So I had to learn myself. I have to learn everything myself, and then I help them to edit this. See, for approaching the innovation, you have to learn. You have to study something new. So I include this technology in the article, and I learned something new. And I think with the new way of using technology, it's much easier right now. It's much easier right now. It depends on how we want to achieve. That is my point of view.
A lot of us talk about impactful research. Can ABR give that impactful to our study? I mean, how do you define impact research in ABR and its contribution to help community and so on? Because if you do ABR, it's only meant for a certain group of people, like the art people, but not meant for the public. I mean, those people who are not literate in art, would they show interest of reading your findings?
Okay, as the audience, when I show the article about the food vendors, how many of you are not in art? So many of you are not in art. Could you understand? Yes, and it's very easy to get right. So I think we have audience. We have audience, and then if we promote, see, think in this way. How many of you just look at the titles of the article on cell phone and then you get the idea? So the same thing. If we use visual, people will stay a little bit longer instead of just text. So this is also a very good way to promote visual.
Yes, please, anyone? Yeah, okay, Sila, Sila.
I'm actually reading from our live chat. That's actually a question asked by Zach Pikalatinga. Do artists should teach audience or people to understand art? That's the question from Zach. I'm reading from the live chat because we actually have a hybrid session. So it is actually from the live chat.
From our online audience. What was the question again?
Do artists should teach audience or people to understand art?
Should artists promote learning in art? There's a connotation saying that artists do artworks, but you don't engage yourself with learning or teaching and learning. So it's just a basic questions regarding your roles as an artist or art educator.
Okay, I'm going to present a life experience of people living with an artist. So you will be able to share your own experience. So I think you can answer the question.
Should artists teach art? Yes. So I don't consider myself an artist. I don't have the ability to draw or to make to paint. But I appreciate the artworks that are being displayed in my house, which is shared with him, is my husband. So when he creates works, I will always ask questions. I will ask questions, how do you go about, like from this point to that point? And he will explain to me. And so there will be, each time there will be a better understanding of some procedure. So I think those knowledge actually, the knowledge he has shared with me actually helped me better understand somebody else's artwork as well. I am lucky in this way because I don't really need to pay for art lesson. I can always ask artists in the house. So I do believe that artists should teach their audience to understand the work. So I understand that there are artists who just feel like, if they don't understand it, it's fine, right? But yeah, but I appreciate as an audience, I do appreciate how artists direct me to learn better about their creative work.
Okay, the other side of the answer, okay, when the artist that I present, okay, he speaks with the language that only artists can understand. Okay, he will say, I just make it, and then you feel it. But how to feel it? How to feel it? At that moment, it needs a bridge. So I was the bridge. I explained the details of his process and also the concept of his art to the broader audience. So art educators can play this role to introduce different types of art to people who are interested in learning different types of arts. So as art educator, we have some responsibilities to make the bridge. For example, contemporary arts, I think many of you probably will see a lot of things that you don't understand why they want to show this. But as an educator, we have to learn and then analyze what's going on and then how to make the connection to the world or to the society. So we will be able to show people the meaning of the piece. So we play a very important role. And as one of the slides that you see, artists, researchers, teachers can be linked together as one position that our educators can do. And I think this is a very interesting way to see it. Or I think that the question is very good. That how to explain art to people, and this is the way that art education will do.
Okay, can we have one last question? Yes, ada Dr. Wong. Okay. Or maybe one more lah. This.
Okay, hi, I'm Dr. Wong from Aswara, which is the National Academy of Arts, Culture and Heritage, Malaysia. I'm not asking any questions, but I just want to share. Actually, we already have a two program at Aswara, which is art-based research, Master of Creative Arts and Doctor of Creative Arts. And what I would want to share is it's quite challenging to guide our practitioners to that orientation, especially in writing. How to translate what we think, what we thought in writing, that's challenging. And is when we talk about research, we will get trapped in the conventional paradigm of research. And then so that was a challenge. And another approach is what I think we need to associate to each other. That's why since 2018, we have already have a symposium on my practice as research symposium. Talk about the practice as research methodology or paradigm, so that we in Malaysia, I think we need to join hands together. That's why we have gathered all the scholars who have got their PhD or their degree under the paradigm of practice as research to join hands to do and then to form a
a community which is, we name it as iPark. And we are also thinking of recently to produce video journal. So that is what we are ambitious, but I think we need to join hands together with UiTM as well. How are we going to, manifest all these things? This is what I want to share today. Thank you.
We do have ABR scholars who use ABR as a platform for their study, but again, I do agree with Dr. Wong's suggestions about having open up a community that talks about ABR and possibly put that into our academic systems. Challenges, of course, will be there all the time. It's just that if we stay together in a community, as mentioned by Dr. Wong, possibly we can bring this up, and it's a medium for us to talk about ABR and promote it. Maybe one last question from Dr. Farizan. Last, satu lagi. Oh, satu lagi. Okay, sila.
Assalamualaikum and good morning. I'm Dr. Siti Sabaria. Actually, I'm not from this field. I'm totally out. I'm from Faculty of Health Sciences under the Department of Dietetics. I'm a nutritionist actually. And it's not any question they want to ask you, but actually, this actually opened my mind that actually talking about music or art is not just a matter of singing, dancing, and etc. I can see from the first presenter that the behavior modification can be done using music, which is what I'm working on in my research. I'm doing behavior modification, especially educating nutrition and health promotion, specifically for the children. So definitely I will contact a Faculty of Music for more collaboration, and definitely that can be another part for the researcher from music and arts to come up with publication where you collaborate with them. Thank you.
Okay, last one from Dr. Khairizan.
Right, sorry, and thank you for giving me a chance. Actually, this is not a question, this is just a thought that I could share. By the way, I'm Khairizan. I'm from the Faculty of Education and from the Department of Visual Art Education. And thank you so much for the fruitful discussion. I believe that this is something that would open up the eyes. But for your information, being in the Ministry of Education, we had started doing this visual research. We know that CBAE, Community-Based Art Education, is one of the new approach of learning arts, and we did that in our curriculum. And at the Faculty of Education, we also introduced a research workbook where we do research through visuals. And I hope that by having this kind of discussion, we'll bring up more effort of introducing visuals and form of research. But I could see that at this point of time, it's very limited numbers of research that have been published, especially in high-index type of journal, where people could accept it as one form of research. So perhaps through whatever thing that you discussed just now, and also might be with some recommendation that you could make to ensure that more research in this type of form will be produced. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe I would like to add on behalf of, I think based from my own experience doing research related how music give impact on plant growth. It really gave me insight that there is also effect, different type of music on plant growth. This was done by my final year students. So from there I learned on to make sure in order to give optimum plant growth, we need different magnitude of music. That is one of the research I did share with Prof. Shahanu just now, because we didn't publish that paper, but I feel like this is something that reliable. Not only that, we are also focusing on the web-based learning, how to make sure students understands the study on biology. So from there, I developed web-based learning because Gardner 1962 did mention on a condition of learning. So from there, I realized that to make sure students understand, we have to visualize everything. So I really appreciate for today a sharing session. It really gave me a new momentum on how to make things into reality. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Professor Dr. Asma. I think that's about it. We are coming to the end of the session. One more. Yes. Can we have one more? Yeah.
Maybe one last question.
Yes, please. Please come forward to the microphone.
Professor, thank you for your sharing today. I'm Jessie and I'm from China, and I major in music education. Actually, I learned Chinese traditional instrument music, and during my undergraduate and postgraduate, I played the Chinese traditional instrument named zheng. So, I turned to learn music education. So. It is a little difficult for me, so I have some questions. And now I do research in Chinese traditional instrument music through social media towards children, especially primary school students in China. So I'd like to know, how do social media as an educational tool in the teaching of Chinese traditional instrument, and especially teach primary school students. So I appreciate that if you can give me some advice.
Okay, social media.
Social media is really not my thing, but after COVID, I think everyone becomes master of utilizing whatever is out there available to help children engage in learning. I think learning instrument itself is very challenging. To use remote learning is actually adding to the level of difficulties. So all in all, I think there's this fact that I want to share with you all. After the shutdown, after the reopen of the university, in my institution, our students were extremely happy to come back. All the music majors, they were happy to come back. When I asked them why, they say they don't think that learning in their voice lesson, sing to their professor via Zoom is effective at all. Okay, so this is from students' perspective, and they also feel like it's not fun to play instrument by themselves. They want to be able to play with, because we have a lot of ensemble. We have a group of musicians who play together, and so I would say that learning musical instrument from social media, it's very difficult, from instructor's perspective. However, there are benefits as well, like for example, being able to share the performance clips. How you want the student to learn, and the student can actually listen to it and watch maybe your fingering techniques, and all the details. They can watch it over and over again, and then by creating a positive learning community, where you can actually provide specific guidelines for students among themselves to critique, to reflect, and to talk about, to think about how they do in their performance or their practice, it's also very effective. And so I think whatever we do, usually in our classroom setting, if you transfer those carefully into like your social media platform, it will also help. But I would say, like, ideally, it will still be best that we play together. Yeah, in like in person. I think if you ask people who create apps or softwares to help children learn remotely, they will tell you like hundreds of benefits, and I have no doubt with that as well. There are definitely benefits to it. There are a lot of things that the like online learning environment can provide, for sure. I'm not saying that I discount that. They have the value to it. However, I think personally, being a musician myself, I enjoy the best being able to have real human interaction. Yeah. Now we're talking about AI conductor just before the meeting, and we were like, there's no emotion. No matter how precise the AI conductor can be, when there's no facial expression, there's a big piece missing out there. So that's my answer. I hope it helped.
Okay, thank you to our speakers. I think that will be the end of the session. Thank you, Professor Joy Ching Wang and Associate Professor Dr. Che Chow Wang for your sharing and also inspirational thoughts on arts. Give them a big round of applause. Thank you so much for your contributions and your thoughts. I would like to take this opportunity to give to say special thanks to our partner Universitas Negeri Yogyakarta, as well as Research and Commercialization Unit led by our Professor Dr. Asma and her team for your valuable support for the programs. Wishing you all a creative and inspiring journey ahead. Keep on producing, writing and also artworks and put them into words and also paper. Okay, goodbye and have a wonderful day. I hand over back to you, Dr. Siti. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Dr. Joy Ching Wang and Associate Professor Dr. Chow Wang for a very interesting and inspiring lecture. And thank you, the Associate Professor Dr. Badrulisa for moderating the session in an interesting way. So all the speakers are Okay, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and esteemed colleagues, I stand before you today with great pleasure and excitement to announce the soft launching of an internal new grant, the Grant Pendidikan Kesenian dan Kreativiti UiTM Cawangan Selangor Dukes KK by UiTM Cawangan Selangor as a remarkable initiative that will foster grant is dedicated to supporting the researchers, lecturers, and art practitioners in the pursuit of research focused on arts and creativity without boundaries. We encourage all researchers, lecturers, and art practitioners at UCS who are passionate about breaking barriers and redefining the boundaries of arts and creativity to apply for the Dukes KK grant. We believe that this grants program will not only elevate the reputation of UiTM as a leading institution for arts and creativity research, but also contribute to the betterment of society as a whole. On behalf of the UiTM Cawangan Selangor, I invite you all to embrace this opportunity and embark on a journey of unparalleled creativity. Let us push the boundaries, challenge the status quo, and make groundbreaking discoveries that will shape the future of arts and creativity. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, next to commemorate the honorable speakers, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Asma Awal, Deputy Director Research and Innovation, Acting Rector of UiTM Cawangan Selangor, to the stage to present a token of our sincere appreciation to our distinguished speakers. Okay, please welcome to the stage Professor Dr. Joy Ching Wan. Thank you, and Associate Professor Dr. Shane Chauwa. And of course, for our honorable moderator, Associate Professor Dr. Badrul. Okay, thank you, Prof. And please sit down. Okay, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the end of the event, and for this we would like to thank everybody for making this event a great success. Before we end our event for today, I would like to invite our distinguished speakers and VIP guests for a photography session with the committees and the participants. Thank you. As the saying goes, to every beginning there is an ending, and now Lucy as Hot Chocolate Research Talk series has come to its end. Once again, thank